All right, we're actually getting close to the property. We're heading east on Highway 14. That is County Road 253, which goes to the north. And that's a good landmark because that means we are only about a quarter mile from our turnoff onto the start of the easement road. We came from Springfield, so this is the method we chose to come. If you're coming from the east, look at the maps. I mean, you could still come this way, but you could also turn off on the county road a little ways up here to the east. Okay, we just went around that corner. We've got the easement road on the left. It's not marked, so you want to look for it. We'll be happy to send you the MapRight map. It certainly helps to print out the paper maps and whatnot from the listing. It can definitely be tricky on your first trip out here. So we just pulled north, and now we're going to take an immediate right onto this spur of the easement road. It's a pretty tight little turn there. And now we're going to follow this up to the east for a little ways to get to the property. A lot of things rattling around in the truck today. We've had a bit of rain this morning, and we were supposed to have some sunny skies fairly early, and it's just now starting to peek through the clouds, so we'll see when we get up that way. We just passed tract 32. Now this is tract 34 on the left. If you happen to have a map that shows all the different tracts, I mean, that can be a pretty decent way to kind of get your bearings out here. This area was logged within the last 1 to 2 years. Parts of it were logged heavily and parts were not at all. It's just kind of a mixture. Every tract is a little different. But this is we're coming into the very first real full springtime after the logging. So we've got about half the leaves out on the trees. It's not a bad time to take videos because you can still get a pretty good look at the ground. In about another 2 weeks, when all the leaves are out, it'll just be a massive sea of green, and it's harder to tell the topography and everything else. So it you know, arguably will look prettier in a couple weeks, but I think the videos are more effective in this early spring. So easement road is curving to the left, and I'm gonna sit here for just a second and get my bearings. Okay, so I just realized that from where we are, that's actually the property on the right side of the road. As soon as we started to make that turn, that curve that we just made, the property was on the right. Probably what I would call moderate logging here. Certainly not a clear cut. Quite a few medium trees left. But there is a lot of brush and whatnot, so it's going to take a couple years for that to fully rot away. Although there is a pretty nice open area right there. You've got to be 100 feet off the road minimum for the setback, but that could potentially be a good building site. There's some fairly decent timber there. And again, we're just starting to get the leaves, so these trees will fill out a lot more in the coming weeks. Deer prints everywhere. We keep hearing turkey out here as well. I mean, we're very close to national forest, which obviously the wildlife love, so this is just a great area for that. Okay, so that, like I said, that's the tract on the right. Let's pull up to the northwest corner, and I'll just keep rolling here on the video. I don't have a topo map with me, but I mean, we can get a fairly good look at the property just from the road, and obviously we'll do a drone video as well. But fairly level coming off the road here. I believe as we go toward the east, if we were to walk to the east, it begins to slope down, which gives you a stunning view. Like any property, you'd probably have to do some selective clearing of the timber to really open up the view. But I mean, we've got a lot of trees left. We've got a lot of level areas. Okay. And there's actually a survey marker there, so that's going to be the northwest corner of tract 35. The property is surveyed, which is a nice bonus. Generally, you know, generally not necessary on a larger property to have a survey done, but it certainly is a bonus if you can get that. And this has already been done, so that's great. So we're walking easterly now, and this is very level. I mean, you could easily get 100 feet off the road and have yourself a nice level building site. And as we look toward the east, you'd have to do some clearing to really open up that view, but just from looking at this, I mean, there's a stellar view hiding in there. I can see a big ridge a couple miles away to the east, and the land does slope down gradually as you continue going to the east. We're looking right into the sun, unfortunately. But here's an area with a little work that could potentially be a building site or campsite once you get 100 feet off the road. We could have, like I said, we could have come in from the north instead. That's an alternate route. Either way, you want a truck or an SUV. On these gravel roads, that's definitely the way to go. But yeah, we'll do a drone video as well. This is a fairly good sized property in a great area. We're very close to thousands of acres as I trip over a log. Very close to thousands of acres of national forest. Some really good rivers and creeks for fishing and floating and all that good stuff. White-tailed deer and turkey are abundant. So for recreation, this is A+. Fairly close to that paved road. Yeah, I mean, this just has a lot going for it. You can check us out at InstantAcres.com to see if this property is still available. Or give us a call or send us an email at sales@InstantAcres.com.